In the heart of an old European village, where cobblestone streets echoed with the tick-tock of 1,000 clocks, lived a boy no one believed in, not even himself. But what if the person the world saw as the weakest became the strongest through nothing but courage? This is the story of Elias, the quiet clockmaker who changed everything. In a quiet village nestled in the snowy valleys of Switzerland, there lived a young man named Elias. His family ran a small clockmaking shop that had stood for generations. The shop was filled with ticking clocks of every kind: grandfather clocks, pocket watches, wall clocks, all whispering the passage of time. But Elias never felt like he belonged. He was painfully shy, barely spoke to customers, and lived in the shadow of his father, a stern and respected clockmaker. His hands were steady, his mind sharp, but his voice, quiet, hesitant, often betrayed him. Most villagers thought he was simple or slow. Even his own father, disappointed by his silence, often scolded him. "You'll never be more than a helper," he once said. "Clocks don't fix themselves by being afraid." Elias never answered back. He simply lowered his head and kept working. Then, one winter morning, a royal messenger rode into the village with a desperate request. The great clock tower of the capital city, an ancient, majestic structure built by Elias's grandfather, had stopped working. No one in the city could repair it. With the village's master clockmaker too ill to travel, all eyes turned to Elias. Panic gripped him. The idea of facing strangers, of possibly failing on a grand scale, was terrifying. But something stirred deep inside. Memories of watching his grandfather work in silence, feeling joy in the precision of gears and springs. Trembling, Elias stood up and said quietly, "I will go." The journey to the capital was filled with moments of fear. He had to speak to train conductors, ask strangers for directions, and explain his purpose to guards at the palace gate. Each time he spoke, his voice grew a little stronger, a little more certain. When he arrived at the grand clock tower, it was worse than he imagined. Rusted gears, broken levers, and dust coated the once pristine mechanism. Craftsmen in elegant clothes mocked him. "He's just a village boy," they whispered. But Elias paid them no mind. He studied the blueprints his grandfather had once sketched. He listened to the silence of the broken tower, and over 3 long days and nights, he worked alone. He made mistakes, started over, failed again, but never gave up. And on the 3rd evening, just as the sun dipped behind the Alps, Elias adjusted the final gear. With a loud clunk and a shudder, the clock sprang to life. The massive bells rang out across the city for the first time in years. People poured into the square, cheering. The king himself came forward. "Who restored this masterpiece?" he asked. Elias stepped forward, nervous but standing tall. "My name is Elias," he said. "I am the quiet clockmaker." The king smiled. "Today you are the pride of the kingdom." When Elias returned to his village, everything had changed. People greeted him with respect. His father, once so critical, embraced him with tears in his eyes. "I was wrong," he said. "You have your grandfather's spirit and your own quiet strength." Elias didn't become the loudest voice in the village. He didn't need to be. He had discovered something far more powerful. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. One small step, one brave word, one act of courage at a time. Because the truth is this: the world sees you the way you choose to show yourself. You don't have to shout to be heard. You don't have to be fearless to be brave. You just have to keep moving forward, even when your voice shakes.